Hi, and welcome to Influencer Fast Pass. I have Alexa from Like to Know It Reward Style here, and we're going to be talking about all about Like to Know It and how we can increase our income using LTK in the app. So, thank you, Alexa, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about just what you do there and about Like to Know It?
Yeah, so I am the senior manager of creator agency partnerships. And so I specifically work with agency creators and across all different verticals to really help support them. And I work with talent to help onboard their existing creators and also kind of pitch them new talent for campaigns and working with alongside our brand collabs team. So I'm really making sure that my agencies feel supported and that their talent is as successful as possible on LTK, and at the same time being able to also position them for consideration for brand partnerships.
And you
Uh,
do a really good job. I'm
yeah.
so excited to have met you at an LTK event. Alexa's given me so many tips already, which is why I'm so excited to share them with you. But for like people that are new here, what is LTK and like how does it work in terms of influencing?
Yeah, so LTK, it is a consumer shopping platform at its core. A lot of people just think of it as links, but it's actually a standalone app that we have anywhere between 20 to 30 million monthly users that are actively going onto this app to shop. Shop from creators, shop from, just product recommendations, all of that. But what we do is that because we do have the technology behind commissionable links, we are able to also empower our creators to make money and monetize off the content that they're already sharing. So the content that, for all the fashion girlies, the beauty girlies, the home girlies, lifestyle, if you're creating shoppable content already and you have an engaged audience that wants to know where things are from, or they're already asking you in your DMs, where did you get this? Where do I get this? Like how, where, who, what, why? Like you need to be on LTK. So it's really just again really empowering creators to be as economically successful as possible off the content that they're already creating.
20 to 30 million monthly users.
Yes. Most people don't like either they don't know that or they just don't really like comprehend that it's more than just, and that's the beauty of it too. So even if you have like 600,000 followers on
Yeah.
Instagram or TikTok or whatever, that's great. And you definitely want to drive your audience there, but you have an opportunity to tap into a completely new base of consumers that might not have ever seen a TikTok or YouTube of yours.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So what is the best way to set up your LTK? Like what tips do you have for people that are either just starting or maybe like myself that didn't utilize it properly or organize it properly because I have ADHD? Like what does the best setup look like?
So first, I'd say like you don't want to overthink it. Again, I feel like I always tell my creators, you've done the hard part. The content's already there. You've already created the content. Now it's just really time to like go through it, see like what is the, what are people asking you most about? What are the posts? What are the reels, the TikToks that people are like asking about? And start building up your shop from there. I always tell creators like your LTK shop is an extension of you. It should embody the look and feel of your other social channels. Your LTK should look like your Instagram feed, your TikTok feed. So really, honestly, just repurposing that content. Don't overthink it. The worst thing for me is I hear creators like, oh my God, I don't know what content to put on
And then
LTK.
you
Like,
just freeze and don't post anything?
yes,
Yeah, I know that.
you have the content.
Yep.
So
I have a lot of
honestly,
content.
yeah, and it's really just like really sharing the things that you love, like your audience. People shop on LTK because they really want to get a little piece of their creators, like what, specifically curated items, recommendations. It's a shopping app, so people are searching for, fall fashion, back to school, even like, what people are setting, their Thanksgiving
Yeah.
tables and things like
Yeah.
that. So really just honestly keeping it to you and being as authentic, because again, like you do have your own community of followers and you have your own audience and you've built this community, so they trust you and
Yeah.
they trust the things that you're putting forth. So just really making sure that you're not overthinking it and you're staying true to yourself. You're staying true to your brand. But also it's helpful to kind of like lean into like the timely moments. Like, we're just kind of off the heels of back to school. We're kind of going into the busy Q4 holiday season. So really being able to like lean into, the Black Friday, like what's your Black Friday picks, or what are your Cyber Monday roundups, what's in your
Yeah.
shopping cart right now, for the upcoming Nordstrom sale, things like that. You really want to be able to like take advantage of those key shopping moments in time, to really also leverage that consumer base because, just for example, Q4 is our highest converting, our highest
Yeah.
traffic quarter of all year, obviously.
Yeah.
So really kind of leaning into those moments to be successful. And then lastly, just consistency. Like I feel like creators, they have people pulling them every which way. You have tons of platforms in your inbox and in your DMs already. But with LTK, like ideally the most successful creators are really kind of integrating it into their regular posting routine. So when
Yeah.
they upload something to Instagram, they're also uploading it to their LTK and really kind of like creating that seamless transition and like that seamless experience to where, okay, I just uploaded this reel or this TikTok and, I'm also linking it to my LTK and letting my followers know that everything is shoppable in my LTK shop. So really just being consistent, as much as you're posting on your feed, you should be posting your LTK because the most successful creators are posting multiple times a day. And there's a lot of money to be made, but the more you post, the more you earn, the more you'll grow on the platform. And again, like going back to the brand collab side of it too, when you're posting, you're generating data and analytics for specific brands, for specific products and verticals that
Yeah,
you can also
testing.
take into those brand conversations.
Yes. I love that. I'm taking notes also because there's always something to learn from you. It's just golden nuggets here that you're dropping. I have so many questions to come back to that. You said the first one was for Q4. I know that LTK does a really good job with their educational materials, and I'm going to be sharing all the links that Alexa sent me down below so you guys can see too. But talking in terms of Q4, which is October, November, December, what is the best time to essentially get ahead of the Q4? Because people are posting right now for Halloween. Like for an influencer, I know it sounds for a regular person, it sounds crazy to be talking about that or decorating still to post content. But what would you do to see the most success on LTK? Like how far is too far ahead?
Honestly, now the time is now. Like we
Okay.
are kind of mid-September. I think kind of just getting your content strategy, kind of, really being able to look at the brands that you love, the brands that, work, convert best for you, eyeing like, what, sometimes brands have kind of like little previews of sales and things like that. We also have a page on our website that will show you all of the upcoming brands, promotions, sale periods, just to kind of give you a little cheat sheet of what's to come. But definitely start prepping now. Start kind of like organizing your product sets, your collages, what's in. A lot of creators will do like what's on my wish list right now for Cyber Monday, or what's in my shopping cart right now. So I
That's
think
a
that there's
really good
never
idea, a
like,
wish list.
yeah, a lot of, because that's the thing also with our products that feature. I love it because you don't have to own these items. So if it's something that you have your eye on, or you want to just like curate, best fall boots that are on
Yeah.
sale right now, like you can do that. But I think to answer your question, like the time is definitely now,
Yeah.
Q4, like things really ramp up in October. But you don't want to be behind the curve when a brand is announcing, we're having a friends and family or this or that sale. You don't want to just be tapping into it when things are already selling out. You kind of want to have your eye on what you want to feature.
That's really smart to get organized. I did read a few things about doing captions in LTK. Would you say captions or no captions, more hashtags or less hashtags? Like as far as posting strategy goes, is there one there?
Absolutely. Always have a caption. Like the worst thing that I like can see or like experience on a creator shop is like they have amazing content and no caption, because essentially, again, going back to LTK at its core, it's a searchable shopping app.
All
So
of it's searchable, all the caption,
yes,
all the
everything is
hashtags.
searchable.
Okay.
Yes. So you want your captions to be as descriptive as possible. So, if I'm taking a picture of you right now, I would post, blue and white stripe. I don't know if it's a shirt or like I'll say it's a
Kimono,
shirt,
because I'm a
blue and
kimono
white stripe.
queen. Athletic dress is my go-to.
Exactly, exactly. But like really being descriptive, like, perfect kimono. And like if you want to add more context too, like, this is great for everyday wear, or this material is really
So
great.
not only like a caption as far as like it's like, "Hey, out with my family." It's a caption like a descriptive item that you're promoting, like descriptive words like SEO is what you're saying.
Exactly, like, you want to, like, add, like, the colors, you wanna add the if it's like a midi skirt or a
Okay.
kimono or a wool sweater, things like that, like, you wanna have those descriptive keywords, because if someone search, or also too, like, fall outfits, or, you
Uh,
know, airport outfits, or, like,
yeah,
wedding guest dresses, things like that, like, those keywords basically, I tell creators, if you are posting content, like, you should be thinking, like, what is if someone was searching for this specifically, what
right.
would they type in?
Like, what would they type in Google to find what you're wearing essentially?
Exactly. The thing of it is like LTK SEO. You wanna be
Yeah,
as descriptive as possible. Some creators like to kinda add context because, like, it is a shopping platform, so you wanna give
right,
people let them know what to expect, so they can say, "My two-year-old loves this because this is, like, super easy to get into, and,
yeah,
like, it lasts, all day at school," or whatever. So, like, if you wanna add a little bit more color, that's always appreciated, but at the very least, you wanna just have those descriptive keywords,
okay.
and using those LTK hashtags as well.
Okay. And I know that they only give you 3, but after the fact, should you be adding more?
It's more so to add keywords than, like,
Okay.
adding your own hashtags. You
Mhm.
can, it would honestly work in the same way if you add, like, hashtag, Nordstrom versus, like, having the Nordstrom keyword in your caption.
Yeah,
But definitely, like, I always tell creators use all 3, because you can use those 3 of those pre-populated ones, but
yeah,
after that, you can really just type, plug in those keywords
okay.
versus your own hashtags. They work the same, honestly.
Alright, that makes sense. And then I know that on our first call, we talked a little bit about videos and how that people are adding more videos into their content. Can we talk about that a little bit here? And
Yes.
what you recommend in terms of, because videos are growing in popularity and people are doing like their transitional videos and outfit changes. How does that work in terms of syncing up with LTK?
Yeah, definitely. So videos are definitely the highest converting content type, and the highest engaging content type in an LTK shop.
Wow.
Also, because when you think about it, again, going back to its core as a shopping app, like when I go on Pretty Little Thing, or if I go on ASOS, I'm always clicking the video because I want to see how things look in real life, how things
Yeah.
move.
The runway videos, those are so good.
Exactly, yes, yes, I'm like, I just wanna see how it looks, because, like, one
Yeah.
picture is not gonna do it, so, I
Yeah.
think definitely, and also it also allows people to spend more time in your shop because they're sitting there watching the video, so, we see by
Yeah.
far videos are converting 3 to 4 times higher, than regular just image posts.
Wow.
Not to say, like, don't post images, like, definitely, but if you do post an image of, a dress, also, post your real image dress as well, like, that's the
Yeah.
other thing too, you can repurpose pieces or different articles of clothing or
Mm,
whatever in different formats on your shop too, but you
really smart.
definitely do want to incorporate video, and I would prioritize video in terms of content type, just because it is the highest converting content type and it's more engaging.
Yeah. I mean, yes, even just for me personally, that's what I that's what I'm watching. And then we talked a little bit about images and collages as far as like lifestyle images or the editorial images versus collages. Is there a hierarchy there?
Yeah, so collages, and I know that this is kind of like an ongoing thing because there are those like legacy
Yeah.
LTK OGs that
Yeah,
um
that's all I
rely
know.
yeah, that rely heavily on collage content, and it does perform for them. I think that in terms of, especially when you're talking about like appealing to like, like when with more Gen Zs, like a younger demographic, like people don't want to see an entire like collage
A
heavy
whole page
LTK
of
shop.
collages. Yeah.
Right. Because it goes back to, again, like your LTK shop being an extension of you. So like when I go in your shop,
Yeah.
I want to feel the same way I feel if I'm like scrolling down your feed. And if all I see is like collages, I'm like,
That
who
would
is
be
this
weird.
person? Right. No, I mean, again, like I
You say
don't
it like
think.
that, it sounds so simple, but before I'm like, collages, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a time and a place. Like there are like the Canva girlies, they love to kind of go in and make the pretty collages. And no,
Yeah.
I think that there is a time and a place. And I think that I'm not saying don't do them at all, but I would just say like keep a healthy content mix. Like best practices is like for collages to be no more than like 20-25% of your overall content mix, just to
Okay.
make sure that like, you kind of have a variety of different types and it doesn't look too heavy or just like
Yeah.
not aesthetically pleasing. Like you want your shop to be cute, not like feel
Yeah.
cluttered and focused. And also too, like having that styled content and being able to see what things look like on a person or in
Online.
real life
Yes.
will work much harder than just seeing something on like a collage.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a really good point. I posed a question in our influencer fast pass group on what they wanted to know. And one thing that came up was, is there or what changes are upcoming for LTK where maybe they could organize their storefront to look more like a storefront? And I know that there are products and there's like, two brand rows now, but is there something coming down where it might look more like a shop or something?
Yeah, so we're
Like
we're constantly evolving and like trying to just make the shopper experience as engaging as possible. And so I know that I mean you probably have seen this kind of coming in like towards the holiday season, like the gift guides and like kind of those
yeah,
product recommendations that will kind of in going into Q4 that will live on the top of the shop as well, just to kind of like prioritize the gifting and people that are looking for gifting over the holidays and things like that, shopping for holidays. Other than that too, we have also implemented product reviews too,
okay.
which is something that is like a little known feature that I haven't seen many creators use, but
Yeah,
you
I
can
haven't
actually
heard of it.
add you can actually add reviews to products. So outside of just like adding the context and the caption. So like this dress that I'm wearing, I could say, the material is like really soft and this runs true to size to
Mhm.
also kind of like add to that shopper experience as well. I'm
Where
trying
is
to
that
think.
found?
So
The
when you actually go to if you go into like when you if you go into like a link in your folders, like say you're saving links to your folders, if you
Mhm.
actually go into that specific link, it'll at the bottom it'll say add product review.
Oh, okay.
I'll send you like a couple of screenshots after so you can share. But it's a little known feature. I feel like we
Yeah,
haven't done a great job of really sharing that, but it's something that will also kind of like add to that shopper experience and really give them an idea of what to expect with their purchase.
I love that. How can you explain a little bit, I don't think we touched on it, like how the commission structure works on LTK and like maybe the best practices on where to share and like how long it lasts? I know I had some like trip ups on sharing from a homepage versus the shop. Just I want to make sure everyone's clear on how if you're going to use it, we want you to make the most amount of money from it.
Of course, yes. So commissions vary by retailer. So whatever the retailer agrees on with LTK as individually. So I mean, we have commissions, we have brands that have commissions up to like 20%. We have on average it's about like 12 to 14%.
Okay.
Um, but what happens is when someone makes a purchase, your commission is the timeline kind of starts because as commission rates vary, also their open times vary, which is basically the period of time that the brand agrees with LTK to leave a commission open so that, basically they want to account for any return. So they don't want to pay
Yeah.
someone, 15% commission off of like a $500 order and someone like returned it like next
Yeah.
week. So typically, the open period of your commissions will be anywhere from usually around 90 days. There's a handful of brands that go up to like 120. Those are a lot few and far between, but generally like 90 or so days, the commission remains open. So if you go into your earnings, you might see that and again, it starts from the date of purchase. You might see that you have like $500 in open commissions. And then as time goes on, depending on when the purchases were made, you'll see gradually, $45 moves into closed commissions. You
Okay.
have a $60 move into closed commissions, depending on, again, which date. And so
Mhm.
once the commissions move into from open to closed, you're paid out every other Friday via PayPal, just making sure your PayPal is updated, you have the right email there. But once you've accrued over $25 in closed commissions, then you'll be paid out every other Friday. So that is something that I get a lot of questions about, like, especially, as we go into like the holiday season, I'll have creators be like, I sold like $10,000 of things, or I made $10,000 in commissions in December for Q4. Like, where's my money? And like, realistically,
Girl,
it's
slow
there.
down.
You will, you will definitely get it, but again,
Yeah.
just kind of like accounting for that open slash close period, you probably wouldn't see commissions from like a December sale probably until like March-ish.
Okay. And then as far as like linking out and sharing it, are you seeing more link clicks within the app or outside of the app? And what's the best way to tell your followers, like, like we were talking about, open the browser or click it immediately?
That's a great question. So, to answer the first question, it really varies because, again, the LTK app has 20 million to 30 million monthly users. So, I've seen creators that like most of their audience, most of their earnings are coming from within the app. I've seen creators that, especially if they're posting like just direct links to their stories and they may not be posting as consistently in the app, then the majority of their earnings comes from like,
Oh, yeah.
their posts on social, and those social links that they're sharing across their platforms, like a YouTube or a blog. Especially a lot of bloggers, I'll see like a lot of the traffic will come from there
Yeah.
versus within the app. But then I've also seen some surprises where creators will be like, oh, I share links on my stories or whatever, but they'll see that the majority of their earnings are coming from within the app. So it really just depends. But that's definitely an insight that you can kind of like garner and like really lean into once you're consistent. But to answer your question too about kind of how the different types of
Yeah.
links work. Ideally, like you can share individual product links to your story or to a YouTube video.
Mhm.
But typically, like for example, if someone's sharing an LTK link to their Instagram stories, it's going to open up in their browser window, in the Instagram browser window.
Yeah.
And like with the way that cookies work, like not to get like super techy because
No,
I'm not
do it. I
myself,
geek out over this stuff.
if someone makes a purchase in that session,
Yeah.
that's the only time that it will count or that
Yeah.
you'll earn commission from it. Because like the way that the Instagram browser works, basically it's kind of like a one and done. Like it's very,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
single use. Most people don't make the purchase in the first time they click something. So
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you do share, and this even goes to LTK postings, if you are sharing to your Instagram stories, always make a highlights section and like add it to your highlight section, because like I never purchase anything the first time I click it, but I will circle a block and come back and say, oh yeah, I remember so and so posted this. Let me go find it again. So
Right.
definitely keep that content shoppable. But going back into the cookies, so it is advantageous to actually share LTK post links versus those direct links,
Yeah.
because LTK post links, they will open up in your browser window, your Safari window or your Chrome window.
Oh,
And
yeah, through the LTK app, and it will ask
yes,
Safari or the
right.
app. Okay.
Exactly. It'll take you to the LTK app, and then it'll open up in like in your browser Safari
Yeah.
window. And so like your Chrome browser and your Safari window, they will store those cookies for like a lot longer than that Instagram browser will. So you're looking at anywhere from, a few days to a couple weeks that a cookie might last. So
Is that
essentially,
dependent on the brand? Sorry to interrupt you.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Like that also depends on the brand and what cookie window that they've
Okay.
negotiated, but just like net, it's we're seeing a lot greater conversion potential with sharing LTK posts
Yeah.
versus just sharing those one-offs. I mean, again, there's a time and a place, like, someone's asking, oh my God, like, where did you get this lip balm
Yeah.
from? Like, I want the link now. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, drop it in your story. But especially again, if you're sharing like, multiple elements in of reel or whatever, it's just easier
Yeah.
to drive people to that LTK post. And then you're also driving people to your shop.
To your
And
shop.
if people click on your LTK post link and they have the app, then they're also automatically added as a follower too.
Automatically?
Mhm. So that's how you actually grow. You
What?
also grow your shop following, and you grow your LTK following, because now people, you're organically increasing your followers the more you're posting, because people are clicking on it.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And your followers will also get like notifications and like price drop notifications and things. Like there are ways that we work on the back end to also like keep people in your shop. And
This is
yeah.
why this is why you're so special.
Oh my gosh, thanks. But yeah.
Yeah. And
The
as a
people need
mom,
to know.
I do. I have so many. I could just talk to you forever. I'm trying to be cognizant of the time, but I have so many questions. So I'm sorry we're talking so fast. But I was thinking, like, as somebody that's a mom, I have ADHD, something can come up, somebody can call. If you just give someone the link, which is what I always do, and then they move on, or like the phone rings, or they have to pick up their kid, that's gone. Like that's already gone, and they might go back to it, or look at it later, or just type it in. Even I used to just type in the name, and then you don't get credit for it.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
you take a screenshot or you save an image from, like, let's say the Walmart website. Is that, a no-no, or will you not get credit on that because maybe other influencers are doing that? Is that good or bad?
You mean
True.
like screenshotting stock imagery?
Yes.
So I would say I would steer against that or steer away from that just because again, like I would lump stock imagery kind of even like lower than collages just because
Okay.
no, because again, like people
It is,
people are
yeah.
going people are going to your shop for you. If I'm seeing just like a random Target dress or whatever, like I don't care. Like it's, like I want to see how it looks like on you. You know what I mean? I
Right.
want I want like your spin on it. I would definitely steer away from stock imagery because again, it's just not as engaging. It feels very like sterile and like I can
Does
just go on
it
the website for that.
does it mess up the commission, though? A lot of people are like, "Well, I saw 100 clicks and I got $0." Talk about
There
that.
is truth to that.
Okay.
So there LTK, like there definitely are certain algorithms, and the algorithms prioritize styled content, what we would refer to as styled content, which
Okay.
would be like, videos or the images or like the flat lays, things like that. And they will push style content, like, some searching for something, they'll push style content, higher and they'll aggregate it higher than I think that I mean, I don't even know if they're still even pushing like unstyled content like stock imagery because there
Yeah.
definitely is, and that's kind of an improvement that we've made just because we want to keep our content as high quality as possible.
Yeah.
So just yeah, net that is true, and you probably won't see as high engagement with your screenshots or with stock imagery just because like we're not trying we're really trying to push the highest quality content from our creators.
Yeah. And what does it mean if it says $0 and you have a lot of clicks? Does that mean that your content post is not good, or it didn't convert because a lot of people saw it and they didn't like it?
Not necessarily. So sometimes when that happens, it could be as simple as like maybe it's sold out too.
Oh,
So like that I tell people to keep an eye on their analytics. And again, this is why
yeah,
look at your analytics because if you have like 5,000 clicks on something
yeah,
and not one conversion, like I might want to click in and see, okay, well, is the item out of stock? If it is out of stock, like it kind of finds it at another retailer, kind of find like a similar thing. But if something is like if you are seeing that, just across the board, like you are, people are clicking to it and they're not converting, again, like is it because you're sharing a direct product link versus a shop link? Again, like because you want to make sure, and I've seen this happen with creators. They'll say, my friend told me, my followers told me that they bought the item, but I don't see the
yeah.
commission. So again, that's why like you really want to make sure you're sharing those post links.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. I do want to get people excited about using the app. If there is someone that has the Beyonce of strategies that's crushing it, can you share a little bit about the average income for nano and micro too, but also the people that are killing it?
It really spans because I've seen creators that have 50,000 followers on Instagram, but they're making 10K a month on LTK just because they're doing LTK full time and they blew up on LTK. You can definitely easily make just starting off a couple grand a month on LTK. If you are consistent, if you
Yeah.
are, really, I mean, again, I don't want to make any promises because it really kind of depends on, are people organically coming to you for recommendations? Do your followers view you as an authority
Yeah.
for shopping? At a meeting with a manager, and she was like, I have a lot of talent. A lot of them are like comedians. A lot of them are like, in different spaces. I'm like, they probably wouldn't be the best LTK. It's kind
Yeah.
of like that come to Jesus. Like, are people coming to me for that?
Yeah.
And if they are, then again, like you really want to drive that shopper journey to your shop. And the most successful creators that I see are also like talking about their shop, like when they set it up, once they kind of have some posts in their shop, they're talking about it, they're announcing it, they're saying, hey guys, like I just launched my LTK shop. Moving forward, this is where you can find all
Oh,
of my links to my TikToks and my reels and my posts or whatever. Like
Yeah.
they're reminding their followers every couple of months because, of course, as you grow as a creator, your
Mhm.
followers grow and
Yeah,
people,
new
you
people
might
see your content every day. Yeah, that's a really good
exactly. And if I just followed you like last month
idea.
and you only announced your LTK shop back in January, like I might not have any idea. So like also tell creators like again, like think of this as an extension of your business. So
This
if
is
you
me.
no, I mean it's all good. I feel like people like
Right.
they like they're like, oh, I don't want to like, nag my audience. I don't want to spam my audience with this, but it's like your followers are growing. So you want to make sure that, if you launched a jewelry line, you wouldn't only talk about it once. If you
One
launched
time ever, yeah.
started a business, yeah, like this is people use LTK literally as an extension of your business as a creator because it's important to like, have, multiple sources of income. And so again, treat this as a business and talk about it. And like also talking about it will also help your followers get used to
Yeah,
seeing you post about it. It'll kind of click to them and kind of increase awareness on their ends. Like, what
yeah,
is LTK? Okay, she's talking about it a lot. Let me actually go and see what this is about. So it's really a win-win all
yeah,
aboard. And then just again being consistent, like really being, you're not going to be LTK millionaire posting like once a month, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So just
yeah. But
being
it
in
is
being
a business. If you're making a couple $1,000s a month, that's huge. And it's not spam. If people are already asking you for links, it's you're giving them what they're asking for. And how I think about it is sometimes creators that have a lot of followers, or even sometimes they don't have a lot, they don't answer all their DMs, they don't see them all. And some people are too introverted and shy to even ask for a link. So if
exactly,
you're sharing it on stories, you're getting the people that want it, but you're also getting the people that are too afraid to ask you for it. I mean, I've had people
exactly.
follow me for 10 years and they just asked me one question yesterday for the first time. And I was like, hey, where have you been? You know?
Exactly. And I think like to your point too, a lot of creators like because you guys do it because you love it. You love to share your outfits and what
Yeah,
you're
you're
doing
already
and
doing it.
everything. A lot of them don't view it as like a business. Like I don't want to be super salesy. And I feel like you don't have to be super salesy. I talk to creators all the time. Like I'm not
Yeah.
really the salesy LTK person, but I'm like, are people asking you where you got this? Then that is, you don't have to say,
Yeah.
hey, like,
Buy
this
this now.
yeah, buy this right now. This is on sale. But it
Right.
could be as simple as, uploading, a mirror selfie of my airport outfit and just me saying like outfit details here. Like
Right.
you're gonna ask, and like to your point too, like
Yeah.
y'all creators are busy. You guys have like families, some have like jobs, like a lot of you guys
Yeah.
have a lot going on. So it's like again to save time and save a headache from having to answer like the same thing in, five different DMs or comments or whatever.
1,000%.
Again, like really just drive people, you can really train your audience to just know whenever they have any questions, this is where they go, your LTK
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah. I get about 500 dings on my phone a day. So I
What's time
totally
for that?
Nobody. The last thing I want to talk about is using these strategies and your LTK to level up to brand deals. I know there's brand deals within the LTK app, but also you mentioned to me one time about using some of the analytics to even pitch brands. And I would love to know more about that process and how we can utilize LTK to secure larger brand deals.
Absolutely. So the 6, 7,000 brands that we have on our platform, they come to us directly
You just
because
drop these numbers like you're like, oh, 6, 7,000, no big deal. I'm like, what? What?
no, I mean, it's because a lot of creators, like, they need to know this because aside from, yes,
They
making money
do.
off of, like, the links, like, yes, there's very, like, large brands that are spending, millions of dollars a year. We actually have seen a 50% increase in brand spend on LTK for collaborations over the past year. So brands are
Get
spending.
it? Drop the stats. That's awesome.
No, it's really exciting, and again, that number is only going to go up, especially as
I
more
circled
marketers.
it. I circled it.
No, and it's only going up because again, like I think like brands are really seeing the advantage of investing in creators because it's cheaper. My background's paid marketing. Like we would spend five
Same.
hundred thousand dollars on like a direct TV ad or whatever that probably would underperform. Where I'm like, we could have just gave like 10 creators like
Yeah.
10K each and gone viral with some content. But
Mhm.
anyway, brands are spending on LTK, and I think that especially we are kind of having a shift because whereas maybe a year or so ago, especially during COVID, like brands were just throwing money at creators. Like,
Yeah.
you have,
I mean, I know people want transparency here, so I'm happy to make that person me. I only have 3,400 followers on LTK. and I was getting a brand deal for 6 grand. Like, I was like, "What?" Like,
Exactly,
the
like,
money
it's
is on LTK, and that was through the LTK, collaboration platform.
you definitely wanna make sure that your collaborations profile is filled out. I'm sure you'll share the links, but that's, like, key number 1 because brands are they have their own logins too, so on their end, it looks like kind of like a search engine for creators, so they can, like, search and sort
Uh,
and filter by, like, vertical, demographic, or whatever, so
can they
definitely
see
wanna make
sales
sure
numbers, or is that why they ask for them?
they can the brand partnerships team can see the sales, your sales numbers
So it helps
when
you be, like,
brands
loyal to one brand versus, you know.
no, no, definitely not. Like, and that's the thing, like, you should be, like, organically linking to,
Okay.
the brands that you
Multiple
love
brands.
because
Mhm.
you wanna, like, whether it's like a Sephora or a Nordstrom or a Wayfair or Anthropologie, Ulta, all these brands, Target, Walmart, like, those specific brands too, they're big on, like, sales drivers because,
Okay.
gone are the times that they're like, "Oh, you have a great aesthetic," or, "Oh, you have, like, 500,000 followers. Let's throw, like, 10K at you for a reel." Now, because brand budgets and, like, I feel like a lot of creators have experienced it over the year, like, it's
Yeah.
been, kind of in flux, like, there have been some times that have been kind of softer than other months, but brands are really kind of tightening up their spending strategies, and, they're kind of moving into more data-driven spending.
ROI.
So
Yeah.
now they're asking questions, and I've seen it overwhelmingly, and I've had to have a lot of hard conversations with creators. Like, a brand, like, they'll say, "Oh, Walmart worked with me last year, and did not work with me this year." And
Yeah.
it's like, well, are you converting? Like, are you showing
Posting.
them that you can convert? Because a lot of these brands are looking for a return on their ad spend. So they're looking for if they're spending, 5K on you for a piece of content, are you generating like 10 to 15K worth of sales for them? And so that's why the power of your LTK shop is that you can use, like, again, look at your analytics and you can see your top brands, you can see your conversion rates, you can see how much you're earning, and you can say, "Hey, I've earned $1,000 in commissions from Sephora this past week, so this is why I should be
So
considered
lean into that.
for your Q4
Yeah.
campaign." So really just I mean, brands are looking and our brand partnerships team, when we're putting creators forth for opportunities, they're
Yeah.
definitely looking at sales data, being strategic, especially again coming into this Q4 where there's going to be an influx of shoppers on the platform. This is a perfect
Yeah.
time to start organically linking to really drive your sales and your performance.
And what do you say to people that are like, "Oh, LTK is already too saturated. What it's not even worth it." Is that true?
It's really not, honestly, it's not, and I think that I mean, I literally had a male creator. He's a plus size male creator, and
Yeah.
he started his shop, and he was very intentional, very consistent,
Mhm.
and his first month, I think he had, like, 1,000 followers in 1 month. He's posting, like, daily, talking about it. He earned, like, 500 in his first month, he earned $1,000 in his second, like, he just kept going up and up, so I definitely don't feel like it's super saturated.
It's
Your
you. It's always for you. There's always a room for you.
Exactly, it's for
Yeah.
you, and each creator brings their community as well, and so,
True.
again, aside from the millions of people that are using LTK, like, a creator, typically has done an amazing job of building community, building an audience that, loves you, is loyal to you, that wants to know everything about what you're using, what you're wearing, all of that. Being able to really just elevate that experience and give them, like, your own branded storefront is always going to be a win-win for you.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love this. This has been so helpful. If
Of
there's
course.
one secret or something like I know that you mentioned the product reviews were underutilized or, not widely known about. Is there another like little secret or gem that you see maybe successful people doing that not everyone knows about? Because there's so much in there. Sometimes it could be overwhelming.
There's so many. So I would say one, like the linking thing, I feel like still like blows people out the water, and it's been out for like over a year. I am very much so a work smart, not hard type of person.
Yeah.
When you are pulling your links, you do not always have to use, you don't have to use the app at all. Honestly, there is and again, I'm happy to send everything for you after this so you can share, but instead of going the long way and like searching through the LTK app for the brand or the retailer and then going through and pulling the link there, most people do shopping already on their phones.
Yeah.
So as you're shopping, if you just go to the share button and like the same share button you would go to if you wanted to copy a link,
Yeah.
there's an LTK creator button that you can just hit and it will generate the link in your browser. So in your Safari, in your Chrome, in your Amazon app, in your Target app, your Sephora app, like wherever, like when you see the share button in an app or in the browser, you can easily just pull that link. And I feel like a lot of creators have been doing it like I don't want to say the wrong way, but the long way. And that is definitely a game changer.
I didn't know about that. See,
Yes, it's definitely a game changer. And then also too, like again,
that-
like I cannot
that's not
emphasize this
Link
enough.
Ninja. That's like that's like in Safari
Yeah, the Link Ninja is when
on
you
desktop.
on your desktop, yes. Like you will we renamed it as LTK product link, but that is a good tool too because a lot of people do shop on the desktop. So like adding that little product link to your toolbar. But
Mhm.
a lot of people that do it on their phone, like if you're on Amazon or if someone's just like asking for a
I
link and
always go in the app. I always go in the app.
that is like more the scenic route. I mean, that I think going through the app is it's kind of cool because you can see like you can type in and see like commission like what the
Yeah.
commission rate is. But I think if you already know what you want to link, it's a lot easier just to like go view, do it through your browser for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Just really positioning your shop like an experience. Like if you especially for like the creators that are sharing across multiple verticals, like a lot of creators will do like fashion, beauty, and home. Like definitely just kind of like keeping your shop organized, like making sure that you have like your stuff bucketed into collections. Because like I always liken it to like if you go into Target and they had no aisles and everything was just like, a strew, like, you
Yes.
want to kind of create an easy,
Yes.
seamless experience. So being able to like having your shop organized by vertical or to kind of like keep, especially once you have like, 100 so posts under your belt, like you
Yeah.
want to keep all that content visible and discoverable. So like definitely
Yeah.
utilize collections. And again, making sure your collabs profile is filled out.
Yes.
I
That's
cannot
such a
emphasize
huge,
that enough.
a huge asset. And I feel so blessed to be able to talk to you and learn all of this. Yeah, if I have new creators, I don't even know the right way to ask that. Like, how did they get access to a you? Like it's not available to everybody, I don't think. Like, how do people have reps?
So I work on the agency side. So anyone that has an agency, definitely reach out. I know I work a lot with your manager, which I
Yeah.
love, but agency creators typically have an LTK rep. If they don't, let us know and we will make sure that you have one. And creators that don't have an agency, they can still reach out to me as well. And we do have a team that works, specifically with creators to help onboard and to help but even if they don't have agency
Okay.
representation. We have a team that works specifically with creators, work with them one-on-one on strategy, whether it's onboarding or strategy, and just like again supporting them. So if
Yeah.
anyone's interested in just like connecting with someone and really kind of like getting tools and best practices, feel free to reach out to me and I can make sure that they're directed and pointed
Yeah.
in the right direction.
Where can everyone find you? Do you want people going to your Instagram?
I literally have creators DMing me like questions. Like it's totally fine. Again, this is the world we live in, the life that I chose. But yeah, my Instagram is Lex Lex underscore Renee Reneee 3 E's. That's
And
my
I'll link it below for
Instagram.
everybody.
Yes, and then
Don't harass her.
Alexa.Pierre at rewardstyle.com. We're actually still LTK. So
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
feel
Well,
free to
thank
reach
you
out
so
if you have any questions.
I love that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you and take all of these notes. I have 3 from our
Oh
first
my
call.
gosh.
I know. It's so like
When were
this.
you writing this?
Well, I have ADHD. I can multitask.
I love it.
I was getting I'm gonna go ham on LTK this month, and then I'm gonna pull my analytics and come back, and I'm gonna be the case study.
Of course, I love
Implement.
it. I can't wait to see. And again, if you need anything, I'm more than happy to help, or I'll send you a bunch of stuff, kind of just so you can have and you can share. But yeah, anything that you need, I'm more than happy to help. And I'm excited to see all of you, you're the creators really take off because LTK is such an amazing platform. I wish that more people knew about it and more people tapped in because it could really change your business for sure.
I'm excited. I'm excited too. So thank you again for being here. Yeah, everyone go create your LTK accounts.
Yes.